Hello. Welcome to the Tech Happy Hour at Dot Mill. So I am the Dot Mill by the look of it, by the title underneath me. I should probably change that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, hi, I'm Nathan, and this way is Jacob, or Mr.
Hey,
Bearded
guys.
Bacon. And in my other life, I am Scrapyard Techie as well. So, yes. Anyway, for those of you who aren't familiar with this concept, it's only been this week. So this is our Tech Happy Hour where we give away or provide answers for your tech questions, any tech problems that you're having for 1 hour, roughly, give or take. Yesterday was a bit long, the day before was a bit short, so roughly an hour. So the idea is that you grab a drink, come sit down with us and talk about your tech problems. Hopefully you have some. As I keep telling people, technology is wonderful if it works. If it doesn't, however, then you got real problems most of the time.
Yeah, you got
and that's why we're here. So yes, so where am I going next? If you have a tech question, you can send that through to us at any point. You can send that through to us on any of our social media platforms, which are all listed on our website, or you can also call me directly because my phone number's on there. Send us an email, just send a carrier pigeon. However you need to get a hold of us, just find our details and do it on there.
But probably not call today because we're going to be using your phone.
I should probably turn the landline off too. You can leave a message on that one and we'll call you back eventually. Turn off. There we go.
Yeah, today's episode, Nathan's going to be taking one for the team and downloading the COVID Safe app.
Yep. All right, let's get this up then. So, here is my phone.
Chloe as well. How you going?
Comments. Oh. Hello. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to share the screen from my phone. You are screen sharing. Oh, whoops, you are sharing screen. Wait, do you just want to see if you can click the comments and make them show up?
No, I can't.
Ah, that's a shame. All right, I'll have to do that then. Cool.
But yeah, no,
I just thought to try that then.
I'm a little sick though.
Yeah.
I have hay fever and change of season always hits me hard.
Yeah. I had that the other day, I think Monday. It was annoying, but anyway. All right, look. Here. So here we have my phone. Oh, sorry, and to answer the question... Oh, wait, we did answer that question. That's fine. Cool. All right, so we'll get out of that. So for those of you who want to know the nitty-gritty of this, what we've done is we've set up a Zoom meeting between the computer and the phone, and then we're sharing the screen via Zoom so that you can see this. I just ruined the movie magic and broke the fourth wall and all sorts of things that you're not supposed to do. But yeah, if you were curious, that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. I just realized
it's also one of the things that we'll go through one day in more detail as well.
Yeah,
it's a little bit tricky to set up. And screen shares.
Anyway. Yes. Okay, so let's go and install this app. So the thing is that people seem to be a little bit scared of this. So this is the app. Now, people think that this tracks your location and is going to follow you everywhere you go and going to hold on to that data forever, and the government's going to know every little thing that you do. The government doesn't really care what you do. The government just wants to let you know and let others know, basically anyone who's running the app, if you come in contact with each other, if one of you is diagnosed or tested positive, for COVID-19. So, yeah, they're not trying to restrict what you do or where you go or anything like that. Yeah, so, okay, I'll explain what I've heard so far and what I've seen people say before I go ahead and install it. So what I've heard is that people are, like I said, worried about it tracking your location. What I've heard, and as far as I understand, it doesn't actually use your location data. It actually uses Bluetooth, which has a range of, I think it's, what is it, 100 meters?
Yeah, it's
Maybe
not
not
a
even
lot.
that, like from a technical point of view. And that's if it's clear line of sight. So if you have walls, or, if you're in a shopping center, in the shops buying your groceries, and there's shelves and products and stuff in the way, it's not going to go the full 100 meters. But yeah,
That,
it,
that makes no sense. So some
yeah,
guy
that
took
really
out the
doesn't make
power
sense.
lines near my house, still have power, but no net. Boo.
First world problems. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay. So Bluetooth doesn't have a very long range, and there's no location data sent usually with a Bluetooth, like using Bluetooth. It's just very local. Usually, you'd use it. Most people use it to connect to like headphones or speakers or something like that. So yeah, it's a very short range transmission kind of thing, and the idea is it's just supposed to then um, find out if you're close to anyone else, or which devices you're close to. So it'll probably get information about that, but not actually where you are. Just if you came close to somebody else who has the app.
But it's also used for transferring files unless you're Apple,
Yeah, that is a
which,
possibility.
yeah.
Um, Chloe
Good
asks,
point.
how can you
That's why we're
trust
checking.
this when the government won't even download it? What do you mean by the government won't even download it?
I think the fact that there's a lot of politicians who won't download it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay, I didn't know that. Um, my guess is they may not understand the way that it works either. But that's what we're trying to go through and look at today. So what I want to know is, in the process of installing this, is it going to ask for location services? Because what I'm relaying to you now is just everything that I've heard and understand, and because I've got that technological background and a little bit more in-depth understanding, then I can explain it a little bit more to you, and hopefully then you understand a little bit more about it. John says, like, how do you only take out net lines?
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
I can
It
probably
also
answer
is.
that question. I think power lines a lot of the time have like redundant circuits. So if you break the circuit from one set of power lines, you still get power through another set of power lines another way. I think. I think that's how it works. The net, not so much. Which, now that I think about it, is kind of dumb. They should have that for both. But anyway,
I'll admit his next comment's a little bit concerning though. The fact he's
yeah,
not
John
allowed to
says
have
he's
it,
not allowed to have it. That's interesting.
which is
Um,
the Australian Army.
yeah, so Defence Force employee, pretty
Yeah.
much. Chloe said yes, that's it. And John says, just saying. Cool. Okay. Um,
Well,
my
let's
guess
dive
would
in and
be,
see if we can work out why.
yeah. My guess
Otherwise,
would
I'll
be
be
that a lot of policy has been made, and a lot of decisions by people not installing it have been made because they don't understand how it works. But the other thing too with Defence Force, obviously privacy and stuff is very, very, very strict. So moving us further, once the app has got the data, so as far as I understand, it asks you for your name, your phone number, and your postcode. All of that gets stored, like obviously as part of the app and part of the data that's stored for it. Um, Postcode, I think, is so it can tell you if anyone in your area has been tested positive. I'm not 100% sure. There was a thing that I've seen going around, which was a text message that looks like it comes from the app saying, you're more than 20 kilometers away from home. Please contact us and explain why, pretty much, like with the phone number and all the rest of it. Just want to put it out there. That has been shut down as fake. That's not real. Don't worry about that one. All right. So, sorry. So after that, once it's got the data, apparently I need to confirm this one, but apparently the data is kept for 21 days. I'm not
Yeah, I don't know
100%
how
sure if
you
that's true
confirm
or
that
not.
though.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
can
issue.
request at any time that your data be deleted. I did read that in the terms and conditions. Let's see where those are. So,
One of my concerns is the fact that we said that the Defence Force privacy is really high. It's
Yeah.
slightly contradicting saying that just the Defence Force's privacy, if it's only name and address and all that.
It's not even
Why?
address, it's only postcode.
But that's what I mean. So why would that be?
Here we go. We will ask your consent. So this is the privacy policy for the app without having installed it yet, just off their website. We will ask you to consent to the collection of your mobile phone number, your name, your age range, and your postcode. So that's it. Here we go. When you use COVID Safe, your app will only record the following contact data. 1, the encrypted user ID, so not in plain text, date and time of contact, and Bluetooth signal strength of other COVID Safe users with which you come into contact. This information will also be recorded on the other users' devices. Interesting. An encrypted ID will be created every 2 hours. This will be logged in the National COVID Safe Data Store, operated by the Digital Transformation Agency in case you need to be identified for contact tracing. Here we go. It's in the privacy policy. No location data. Data that could be used to track your movements. To track your movements will be... no location data, that is data that could be used to track your movements, will be collected at any time. No user will be able to see the contact data stored on their device as it will be encrypted. Any attempt to decrypt contact data is an offense. Contact data stored on the device will automatically be deleted after 21 days. Okay, so that changes things a little bit. From that, I don't know if any of you caught that, but the data of who you've been in contact with
Is
is stored on your
and their
device and their device,
Yeah.
not necessarily transmitted back to the data store, so to the government's, where they're storing the data for this app, that's a pretty big thing, because 1, they're not collecting location data. 2, the data they're collecting or that they're tracking through the app isn't entirely transmitted back to them. As far as reading this, your user, your encrypted user ID, which changes every 2 hours, is transmitted back to them.
Yeah, that's not that cool.
Which part?
The
The
fact that
encrypted
it's
user ID?
Yeah, the fact it's storing on your phone and other people's phones. Because it comes to my thing we were talking about yesterday about Bluetooth and how the scams back in the day where you could steal stuff off people's phones and stuff with Bluetooth. If you're automatically connecting to someone else's phone via Bluetooth and that other person isn't...
That's the thing, though. You're not connecting to their phone.
Then how does it transfer data between your phone and their phone?
Well, it says it in there. It's not actually measuring the ID, I don't think. It's measuring the signal strength. Hang on, let me double check that. No user will be able to see the contact data stored on their device. Oh, wait, no, sorry. You mean the encrypted user ID?
Yeah, because the stuff that's getting stored between 2 people's phone devices.
The user's devices. That's a good question.
Because the thing is, if it's getting stored on 2 devices, there is a virtual handshake being made where my phone is connecting to your phone.
If it's only going from device to device, that must be public then. Sort of in the same way that your what's it called? Your wireless address, your network name is public.
Yeah.
You can't then connect to it unless you're authorized. You can see the name, but you can't connect to it.
How do you transfer data if you don't connect? Because that's the issue.
You would record that public piece of information.
But why would they be saying that you're storing data on your phone and their phone?
Because you've got to record which devices you came into contact with. So it doesn't open up transmission of anything else between the two. Not unless you've paired the devices by Bluetooth, which most of us would have been through before if you're using Bluetooth speakers, Bluetooth headphones, Bluetooth keyboards and mice. You've got to pair the devices before they can talk backwards and forwards to each other. But anyone who's connected to a wireless network would know you can see the name of the wireless network before you do anything else, like before you've authenticated and formed a connection. So it's the same as essentially war driving, I guess. You can drive around and see all the wireless networks that were available. But yeah, that's my theory anyway. Like without installing it and seeing, like, the bottom line is it's not actually recording your contact data. John says that they're not allowed TikTok for a whole list of things. You would be giving TikTok, just putting it out there, you're giving social media far more information than this app. Like, than this app is recording. Because social media apps actually record your location data all the time.
But I don't understand why they'd stop an app that's supposed to be for safety of everyone. Why would they stop the army or the defense forces using it? Because you'd think they're in a lot more contact with a lot more people than we are.
Yeah.
And they, like, I know at the moment I believe John's still stationed in Australia, but you have the people that are stationed overseas and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I
don't know.
I'd hazard a guess to say it's a premature decision by people who don't know exactly how the app works. Because like the thing says, there's no location data recorded. But let's do the install now and find out if it asks for permission for location data.
I've never seen that email of yours before.
It's not usually public. All right, so I'm not going to read all that out, but if you want to, you can take the time to go back and read that. Here we go. Oh, look, it tells you when you install it. Bluetooth, blah, blah, blah. That's the other thing too. This information that is transmitted back to the government, the Prime Minister, I almost died of shock when I heard this, is stored using Amazon Web Services. So Amazon's servers, which powers a fair chunk of the internet. I'd say, I can't remember if it was a third or 2/3, but there's a lot of the internet powered by Amazon servers. Chances are if you visited a website today, at least one of them, or at least part of one of them, was delivered by Amazon. But he did make it very, very clear that the data there, and it even says here, I'm pretty sure, is encrypted. So just because it's stored there doesn't mean anyone who manages to get access to it somehow can then read it. It's like if you wrote something in code, unless you have the decrypt key for it or the decrypting code for it, you can't read it. It's just going to be a bunch of garbage. John says, then anything that can be used to track location, or if it is giving me an ID that they can get off someone else's phone, they might consider it a security risk.
Which
I guess that makes sense, but the thing did say your ID changes every 2 hours.
Yeah, but the thing
which means that only
there'll be a paper trail.
Yeah, there would still be some kind of trail, but I would imagine the changing of the IDs would have to be encrypted as well. So then you couldn't use it to track back and go this.
My issue with the encrypting and that, it's like high-valued cars and stuff. No matter what kind of alarm system you put on it,
there's still a way to steal it.
Yeah, if someone's wants to steal a high-end car, they're gonna know how to steal a high-end car.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So if someone wants to find this, and if there's a way to do it, they will find a way to do it.
Yeah. Although, do you know how hard it is to decrypt stuff?
Yeah.
This is why ransomware is a thing, because once it's encrypted, that sucker's gone.
It's still plausible.
It's still possible, yes.
Yeah. So.
Although there's still no location data, so it's only going to link you to another, like your device to another device.
Yeah.
The other thing too that I've heard is you don't necessarily have to put in your real name for this. And it says here too, and I've heard it explained that no information is shared with anybody else until, like, even if you test positive, until you consent down here. If you test positive to COVID-19, we will ask your consent to upload your contact information to a highly secure server. State or territory health officials can then contact other COVID-safe users you have been in close contact with. Wait, so this is saying it's not even sending your contact information to the servers until you test positive and consent.
Yeah.
So all it's doing then is storing your IDs.
Yeah.
Like on the servers.
Yeah. I believe so.
That may be one step safer then. Like you say, though, anything is still plausible, I guess.
Yeah. If anyone wants to find it, they will find it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to have someone like me who's just curious attempting to get the information.
No, you're going to have to really, really, really want it. Maybe that's where it comes in with the whole Defense Force thing.
Yeah.
It's possible that it could happen.
Yeah. And I think that's still why people are nervous, because the possibility, even though it is a possibility with pretty much everything you do.
Yeah. Here we go. Registration and privacy. It is important you read the privacy policy, which I was doing before. If you're under 16 years of age, if I shave, I could probably pass for that. Your parent/guardian must also read the privacy policy. Okay. Use of COVID-19 is completely voluntary. You can install or delete the application at any time. If you delete COVID Safe, you may also ask for your information to be deleted from the secure server. John says, actually, do you want to read that out? And I'll just look at the privacy policy again.
Like, it could be a massive overreaction, but the only way I can see it being a risk in his job is the contact with other devices.
Yeah.
If they have compromised devices, they could use the data to track certain people. Like, I think that's why it's a thing for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of comes down to what I was saying. Like, if there's something on there to bypass certain things, again, someone has to go out of their way to do it.
I'm going to throw it out there too, not having a dig at you guys in particular, but Android devices are more susceptible to that than iPhones.
Yeah.
There was like, what was it? Something like 500 and something apps pulled off the Google Play Store this week for security breaches because they were recording data that they weren't meant to. Here we go. In the privacy policy, how will personal information be collected? This must have been what I was thinking of. As part of your COVID Safe, we will collect your registration information after you successfully enter a PIN sent by SMS. Information about your encrypted user ID when you have COVID Safe open or running on your device. Information that you have tested positive to COVID-19 when you agree to a health official sending you an SMS to enable you to upload your contact data. Your contact data when you or another COVID Safe user you have come into contact with tests positive to COVID-19 and chooses to upload contact data from on their device. Okay.
I think it may have frozen.
Which one?
Yours.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. I'm reading the privacy policy on my computer.
Oh, okay. Because it looks like the time on the... Oh, no, it is working.
Cool. All right, let's continue. I consent to the Australian Department of Health collecting my registration information, my contact information from other COVID-safe users after they test positive for COVID-19. Huh?
Why would you consent before you have it happen?
I'm not sure.
So you're consenting to giving up your information before you've even been tested positive?
If someone you've been in contact with tests positive, is that what you mean?
No, what it's saying there, because you're about to consent to giving up your contact information. So it means if someone you've been in contact with has received it, you're automatically going to give them your contact information.
Well, that's what the app is designed. That makes sense because you're getting this so that you get notified if you've been in contact with someone else.
Yeah, but what I mean is your contact information is going up. your
Not
consent.
until they test positive. So what would happen is you would have to trigger the positive event from one of your devices first, and then the information will be shared.
Yeah, but it was saying you had to consent
Yes.
to your information being put up once you're
No,
tested positive.
no, only
But
if one of you test positive.
I swear on the last page it said if you test positive,
This one?
you had to.
If another user tests positive? Or you mean the thing I was reading before?
Yeah, the fact that you have to consent after you've been tested positive.
Yes, you do.
But the thing is, what the next page there is saying, as soon as you're in contact with someone who has been tested positive, your
Yeah.
contact information's going up.
Yeah, that, like I said, that's the idea of the app. They need to be able to contact you.
Yeah, but it's
So,
contradicting
like,
itself. It's saying even if you haven't been tested positive, if you go near anyone who is, all
yeah,
your contact information is going to be uploaded
yes,
without your consent, except for the
this
consent at
is
the
your
very
consent.
start.
Yeah, this is your consent now. That's the idea of the app. If you've been in contact with someone, they need your details to let you know. Otherwise, you
Yep.
wouldn't be installing this app.
But the thing
But
is,
see,
it was
there's,
saying once you've tested positive is when your stuff goes up, but it's not
yeah,
that. That's not the case. It doesn't matter
I
if
see
you're
what you're
positive or
saying.
negative, it's
Yeah,
going to upload it instantly.
if anyone you've been in contact with tests positive and gives their consent for their information to be used.
But that's what I mean. They're not going to be able to. It's as soon as you're in contact with them.
So I guess that's a privacy risk in the sense that somebody could trigger a false positive and then
Yeah.
get the data harvested from the phone as it uploads.
Well, that's the thing. Like, even if you are in contact, doesn't mean you're going to get it.
Yeah.
So
But I
if you
mean,
have one
that's,
person who's positive, and you go into a place where there's 10 people with the app,
yeah.
it's going to instantly upload all 10 people's things, like location and everything. Well, not location, all their information instantly, even if they aren't positive.
Yes.
Even though it's saying that you need to consent before it does that. Whereas this is the consent.
That's in the event that you get tested positive. There must be another section for that then as well.
But the thing is, your
Let me
information's
see.
already going to go up.
As soon as the positive is triggered.
Yeah, as soon as someone
Yeah.
positive near you is triggered, your
Yes.
information is going to go up.
Yes. Maybe that's why people don't want this then.
Well, like I said, it's really contradicting itself.
Well, it depends. I didn't read it out in full.
Because I'd understand if I wouldn't like if I didn't have to consent there. Like if I consented to my registration and then it
Mm.
prompted me once I was in contact with a positive person,
Yeah.
that would make sense because then you're consenting to it. But this is just straight up. If you're in contact, it's just automatically going to upload your information.
Yeah, that's right, because that's how they then notify you. Like, how's the app supposed to notify you if they don't have a way to contact you?
You already have your contact information.
Yeah, you have your own contact information on your phone. But if someone you've been in contact with tests positive, then that means they then need your contact information to notify you that you may have been in contact with someone who has tested positive.
But again, why can't they do that through the app?
Because the app only stores the data internally except for the ID. There's no way to get back to you. You send data to them, they don't send data back to you. So
What
you're
the
sending
person
your
with?
IDs to
Yeah,
them,
but the
but they're not
person
sending
who
anything back to
is
you.
tested positive
Yeah.
would have the ID that it's positive, which your phone
Yes.
picks up on.
Yes. But
So
how
why
do they
can't?
tell you that that ID has been tested positive if they don't have your contact details?
But it's through
Because they're
the
not
app.
sending data back to you. They're
But
only
they already.
receiving data from you. Data flow is going one way.
Oh no, I still don't like the way they've worded it at all. because it's really
I'm doing
contradicting itself.
I'm doing it, and we'll see if the live streams stop next week. They got me. You're all witnesses. Oh, okay. Well, you all know who I am. Pretty sure you all know how old I am.
Pretty sure we all know where you live.
And
roughly.
we know where the business is, so... And you all know my number anyway. Or should I turn that off? Maybe I should turn that off.
Well, you have got a few phone numbers, so...
Yeah. Okay, apparently there is a pin that has been sent to me, which is correct. I won't share that either because that may be a thing. Oh, that's right. Phone picks that up automatically anyway. All right, so app permissions. COVID Safe needs Bluetooth and notifications enabled to work. Why does it need notifications if it's not sending data back? All right. Oh, wait, no. I know why. On the iPhone, background apps aren't allowed to run unless they have a reason, and notifications is usually the reason for that. But what I'll do is I will have a look and see if I get any notifications from them. Oh, there you go. Keep push notifications on for COVID Safe so we can notify you quickly if the app isn't working properly.
But it still
Okay.
makes contacting to you.
Huh?
If it's going to let you know that the app's not working properly.
Yeah, that doesn't come from the central data store though. That'll come from the app itself. So there's two things for that then. The allowing it to run in the background and then it telling you if it's not working properly. Okay, please take note. Keep your phone with you when you leave home. That's not a problem for me. It's usually always on me when I'm at home as well, except when I'm sleeping. Keep the app running. Keep Bluetooth on. Okay. And COVID Safe is active with absolutely no request for location information. So it's not using at least your phone's location services. I wonder... Well, no, it's only tracking by Bluetooth. It would be very interesting to know, and I can't do it today, but it would be very interesting to know and see what data it actually transmits. Which, just running through in my head, is entirely possible for us to do if we wanted to. This is something that only Jacob and I have spoken about so far. You know how I was talking about setting up a test lab?
Yeah.
Like over here?
Yeah.
If we had the test lab set up, if we then joined the phone to the wireless network and had no other devices connected on it, or at least filtered, like one for monitoring and then just the internet connection out, so we don't see anything from any of the rest of our network, because right now there'll be a lot of traffic, especially while we're live streaming. We could actually use that to monitor what traffic comes in and out of the phone.
But the issue is going
And
to
where
be
it's
is the
going.
fact that it's only in one place.
Yeah, I know, but I
You're
mean,
not in contact with anyone.
if we were to get, say, another device, if we were to borrow another phone, or, you know, maybe install it on my iPad or something, we could, you know, then use that and monitor as we do it what traffic goes back and forth and where it goes. We may not be able to see as much as what's in it, but we could at least see what the process is. That's not going to be a today thing, though, because that's going to be a fairly in-depth and hectic setup.
Yeah, it'd take a little while to work out.
Yeah. But either way, apparently now I'm being tracked. So like I said, if I disappear next week, it was nice knowing you all. But yeah, I'm really not overly concerned about it.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just odd for me.
Well, everyone's still going to have their own opinion. So, you know,
Yeah.
At least we've had a look at it a bit more in depth and at least gone through what it's supposed to do and how it's supposed to work. Yeah. If you're still paranoid about it, it's still completely optional. There's nothing to say that you have to install this or else, at least not at this point. Some people have theorized that that will happen. I don't know if it will or won't, but yeah,
Well, the fact the media is pushing that you have to get it, and the
you
health
don't.
minister himself is saying you don't.
Yeah, you don't. You
It's
don't have to have it. The thing that the media is pushing is it's only a theory, is that the theory may be you may not be allowed out like once restrictions start to be eased unless you have this app. But nobody from the government has actually said that's going to happen yet. That's so far anyway.
But it's going to be interesting seeing this weekend how the restrictions getting lifted slightly is going to happen.
Yeah.
Considering they said they weren't going to go out of their way to find people, but they've already said that they're going to blitz police. They're going to have like an extra 100 and something police officers.
For those
the
watching
weekend.
interstate or internationally or whatever, we're in Queensland in Australia. So, yeah, our restrictions are starting to be lifted this weekend. What are we allowed to do exactly? We're allowed to go within like 50 kilometers of our house with the members of our household. You're not supposed to visit other people and stuff. You can go for a drive.
And drives and stuff, yeah.
But they've said, you know,
are opening.
Yeah, but they've said at least in national parks, facilities like the picnic tables, I think, and toilets are going to be closed. Maybe it's just the toilets. Toilets will be closed. And they said, use some common sense pretty much. If the car park looks full, don't stop there. Just keep going and find somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, certain elective surgery's been opened back up.
Yeah. Hang on a second, we've got some comments.
Yeah.
Chloe said, if they make us do it, I will smash my phone. Don't do that. If they, like, you don't have to do it. You could just not install it and keep your phone in one piece.
No, but what she's saying is if they do make us
if they, like, force you, like, physically grab your phone and force it on there.
Well, say you legally have to do it, I think.
Well, legally, like, there's stuff illegally that people do every day. So, you know, just because they say you have to doesn't mean you necessarily have to. But you didn't hear that from me.
Like John said as well, some elective surgeries, not all
that
of them.
That happened Anzac Day weekend, didn't it? That got opened back up.
Yeah, it was like 25% of elective surgeries.
Neil said oops, but I have no idea what he's referring to.
I reckon it's because he's
smashing the phone. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. And John said national parks are being opened as well, apparently, which we just talked about. So this weekend probably will be a lot busier, like with people out and about, which I think you mentioned already.
Do you see what happened with the service stations?
What, prices of petrol going up?
Prices of petrol are going up like 40 cents a litre. In preparation for people wanting to drive more.
Yeah, that's not brilliant.
No. But yes.
Cool. So that was a walkthrough of the app and a little bit of a look into the terms and conditions and how it's supposed to work from a technical point of view. I don't know. Do you all want to see like us actually trace what it sends in and out as we install it and register again? If you do, let us know and we might have a look at that setup. It's going to be it's a lot of work to set up something like that. But if people are interested, actually, you know what? I'm somewhat interested. Maybe we should do it. I don't know. We'll decide later. But we have that option.
Neil's saying, oops, he's more than 50 kilometers from home. I feel like if you're working, Neil, that's acceptable.
Yeah, that's acceptable. And John said, oof. Oh, here we go. I was going to fill some Jerry's.
Yeah, dude. Prices have skyrocketed already. It's ridiculous.
The one around the corner from my place is still like 81.5 cents a litre. So after this, I might go fill up.
Yeah, it's probably the safest thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't drive much anymore, so it doesn't really bother
me. Cool. All right. So, I don't know. Does anyone have any questions from that now? Does anyone feel any better or any different or pretty much the same as when we started?
Yeah, I'm still pretty much the same. I'm questionable.
Yeah, I at least appreciate the fact that it doesn't use your location data, which is what a lot of people were freaking out about. And much as it may be possible, I still don't think it'd be possible to pinpoint your exact location without using location services, not unless you combined it with data from another service. So if you say combined it with access logs from your email, then you may get a little bit closer. But then if you then took that and combined it with your location data recorded by any other app, then you're in trouble. But even then, they've still got to match it to you.
Well, one of the ways they might be able to use it to track you is
Triangulation, maybe.
Yeah, the
With
fact that
two other devices as well.
If my app is like, if I'm from 4122 and it comes in contact with you at 4119,
yeah,
and someone else, it's going to be okay. These people are within this circle somewhere.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So it might use something like that.
That still doesn't really make sense because that just tells you where you live, not where you are. And you still,
Yes,
like I said, it still doesn't pinpoint. Like, location services will tell you or tell us, like tell me right now that I'm at 3P Garage or the Dot Mill at 3299 Logan Road. Even if you got that data, you're still only narrowing it down to like a bunch of postcodes, which is still suburbs worth. So like I said, without combining it with other data, it's not really much use. But the thing that I was thinking is if you could pinpoint enough of them, you might get a rough idea, but it's still probably within a suburb kind of thing.
Well, it still could be the fact that, like, if I'm at Tweed Heads, or something like that, and I come in contact with someone who has the COVID-19 app, it's going to be like, okay, you're well and truly, like, these two postcodes shouldn't be near each other. What's going on?
When are you expecting it to do that, though? Because that information is only stored on your phone until someone triggers a positive, like either one of you triggers a positive.
But like I said, you can send it to it if anyone is positive.
Yeah.
So, like, if I do go down to, like, say, see my grandma who's in hospital at the moment, and someone in that hospital is positive,
you still need to come within Bluetooth contact of that. And they're still not going to know exactly where you are, just roughly a postcode.
Yeah. Well, they'll know the postcode I'm in. Because of the person all the other who's people in around contact.
But that's the thing.
Who's in contact.
Oh, yeah.
Because
but even then, it's only the postcode.
Yeah, but still they might get angry because I'm down there.
Depends. Like, for you to get there, though, you would have to have passed the border check.
Yeah, I don't need to. Going out of Queensland, it turns out you don't need it. It's only coming back in. And having Queensland Rego and just a piece of paper saying that you're a Queensland resident gets you into Queensland.
Didn't know
That's
that.
all you need.
Good to know.
Neil said yesterday it was like almost 150 one way. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, the battery drain's going to be hectic.
Yeah, that is a thing. That reminds me, I need to disconnect my phone from that Zoom call now. Now that we've finished with that. How do I do that? Leave the meeting. We should probably cover Zoom one day too, because people are freaking out about that as well. Oh, here we go. Other John. I'm at the point where I'm straight up uninterested in installing the app because of some peer pressuring I've seen from people. The fact that most government projects with technology turn into a dumpster fire. That's fair.
That is very fair.
Yep. Although, mind you, the government projects that go to rubbish are generally, they don't work. It's not generally data got leaked.
John said they've changed it since I went to New South Wales. No, they we checked last night. Because my grandma literally was put in a hospital yesterday. So Mum was contemplating going down to see what's going on.
Under the current restrictions, is that allowed or not?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, cool. You should be alright then. I mean, even if they figured out where you were, then what's the problem?
Yeah.
Oh. Also the fact... Oh, okay. John's just correcting himself. All right.
According to what Mum read last night, that's literally all you need to get back in.
Oh, yeah. Cool. John's seen your comments or heard your comments.
But I think like the main border issue with people trying to get over are the like ones who live in New South
Yeah.
Wales but work in Queensland. Like that is going to be the harder one to prove. Whereas being a Queensland resident and all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah,
obviously
you
we
should
can
be
get
okay.
consent from the doctor to go see her, stuff like that. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, you should be okay then.
I'm hoping I don't have to go down there, but
Yeah, that wouldn't be
yeah,
a good thing.
no. Where are we
Cool.
at now?
I don't think we have any other questions for that by the look of it. Oh wait, hang on. John has a very long comment. Yeah, modern smartphones don't exactly have the best battery life. And yeah, you can definitely back the government tech stuff going to a dumpster fire in trying to do work from home packages, and they've spent more time at work trying to get them to work, to be honest. But I think a lot of people are in the same boat with the work from home thing. Having seen the school from home thing, actually, the school where our kids go to has actually been very, very good with that, but just systems coping with load, like systems in general, is a little bit hit and miss. Although thankfully, like I said, the school that our girls go to, it seems to have been more hit than miss. So thankfully we're good on that front, but there's been some horror stories I've heard from other schools and other people, which has not been so pleasant. I wasn't told which school, but apparently another school in the area, because the government announced like in the last half week of school holidays that everything's got to go to remote learning for the government schools. Obviously, this particular school wasn't ready. And apparently the parents and students heard nothing for the first 2 days of term because they obviously just didn't have anything ready to go. So, yeah.
How long
By
is that
comparison,
going to be anyway?
they're reviewing again mid-May,
Oh,
I'm pretty
wow.
sure. So probably at least another 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. That being said, though, the particular school that my kids go to, even though it is a government school, they started the remote learning stuff in the last, I think, week or week and a half of the term before the holidays. So they got on the jump early, which I'm incredibly thankful for because, yeah, it's a lot better than it could have been and has been for a lot of other people. Anyway.
Rightio. The question is, can you finish the computer in 13 minutes?
You know what? I reckon in 13 minutes I'll get the fans in, but that's probably going to be about it. So let's bring up the workbench, and I'm going to switch to back there, which means I'm leaving here, I think. Hang on. Could anyone hear me then?
Nope.
I think my microphone is attached to this one.
So your microphone's attached to the right one today and not
No.
the workbench?
No, my microphone's attached to this one, the front view.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like yesterday it was attached to the workbench.
No,
So every time you turned the workbench off, it went quiet.
It depends because that's the way I wanted it for yesterday. Technically, that's probably the way that I should have it for today. I wonder.
We'll jump on before you spin around.
Wait,
John's
can you still hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I can show the work. Okay, it is possible to show the workbench.
Yeah.
How do we get back?
John said, like even accessing stuff is dumb. Need to use a DRN email for it all. An
What's
email
DRN?
you can't.
Oh, here. What? What is DRN?
Defense.
I feel like I should know that.
I don't know. Might be a direct something network.
I'm not familiar with that term. Wait, hang on. Hold on a second.
It appears to be a defense email.
Seeing as we're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, wait, here we go. Defense restricted network. Okay, that makes more sense. But I was just going to make mention of this because it's interesting anyway. because we're doing a lot more tech stuff and giving away a lot more information and stuff and answering people's questions and stuff, I actually dug out this. This is a lot of information, a lot of older information, but it's still good for like learning stuff. Like I got this, I think, for my 15th or 16th birthday or something. But like it goes through like everything, like all the tech terms and stuff. And at the time, it actually like it was very good because it was historical, because it actually shows you stuff like how a hard drive works, which I was trying to explain the other day for SSDs. I was going to see if DRN was in here, but anyway.
Chloe also said,
Here we
my
go.
mum works in a school, and say up here they're looking at opening schools up on the 28th of May.
Okay, that's interesting. That would
Neil
be good if
says
that
you
happens,
need a
but that's
set
another
of-
4 weeks away.
Yeah, Neil said you need a wireless headset.
For the few times that I leave my desk during these streams, it's probably not worth it. Not for keeping it charged, the extra expense, you know, all the rest of it.
And it's not really the headset; it's the microphone, which is
Yeah.
a part of his headset anyway.
Yep.
He's
Microphone
a bit
is
more posh
separate.
than I am.
I like this
I like
thing.
the-
I actually really like this thing.
I like the fact I was roughly right with what DRN stood for, because I did say Defense
Yeah, you
Network.
did.
I
Yeah.
didn't know what the R stood for.
Yeah.
So, okay, we got 9 minutes, Mr. Cito.
All right.
Let's see your
So
skills.
let's just show the workbench. Actually, you know what? Let's do this, but we need. How do we move that? Because we want this one to be the main one. What? I want the workbench to be the main one. I have no idea how to do that. Let's just do solo. All right. So.
Jeez, that camera's terrible.
Yes, I know. We would replace it, but webcams are in very short supply right now. We looked yesterday. We couldn't find a thing.
Oh, well,
Not
we
for
could.
less
It
than,
was
like,
just
daylight robbery.
$1,500.
Yeah, stuff that, eh? All right, so you won't be able to see my face, not because I'm a dentist, but just because of the setup that we've got. Wait, let me try one more time.
I also want to just double check. I'm going to hop over onto here.
What if I move that? Nope.
Okay, so we can. Whilst you have that up, I can hear myself when you have the other thing up. Now I can't hear you. Now I can hear you.
Oh, whatever. Let's just go back to yesterday's layout, which was this. That'll do. All right, so we've got two cool master fans. They are master fan 120 ABs. These are RGB fans. We have no RGB controller because this is budget build. So we want airflow in this way and out that way. So there's a space here. I'm going to have to pull the front panel off to try and get a fan in there. And then we want this fan here to blow out this way. So
whilst Nathan's doing that, I'll reply to John's comment. John just said, I don't like the GPUs going up in dollars again.
Yeah, oh yeah, they definitely are.
Just a little bit. Actually, John, whilst you're looking at upgrading, you should look into a program me and Nathan found that seemed pretty cool.
Oh yes.
Which is called NVIDIA RTX Voice.
Yes.
Which, if you look up some videos of it, it is insane how good it is.
Can you wait?
I'm not going to say that whole comment out loud, but also wonder why webcams are going up. It's going up because of people working from home and doing video conferences and stuff like that.
The whole comment, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Where is that? The link you sent me the other day for the RTX Voice.
You do that. I'll put it in the chat.
Wait, I think I found it.
Like, it's genuinely awesome. It is crazy what they can do.
I found it. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're interested, John, and if you're looking at going for an RTX, look that up.
That is the link for the video that we watched the other day on the NVIDIA RTX voice, which we need to get running for this because at the moment,
Yeah,
it's a bit loud.
like
Sorry,
mine's not too
headphone
bad.
users.
I currently have a industrial fan going underneath my desk and a fan behind me that I don't think you can hear. So
Technically, you have a pop filter and a suspension mount.
yeah,
Technically.
I'm fancy like that. No, I want to get a new microphone anyway. Why did that go up twice?
What's that?
Your comment.
I have no idea. Oh, once on Facebook, once on YouTube.
Performance takes a hit though, with the RTX voice.
That's why you have 2 RTX cards and you use one for the processing and one for the gaming. Because, dollars aren't a thing.
Yeah, dollars aren't a thing
say that out loud.
For people who can afford Threadrippers.
Yeah. Or 3950Xs.
Well, the other thing you could do, John, is get a good RTX card because you don't need RTX to run the RTX voice.
Yeah.
You need an NVIDIA card. So
Will it run on a 1050 Ti?
Well, he's got a 1080 Ti at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just thinking as a secondary card because they're still fairly low priced.
Use the 1080 Ti as the secondary card. And then a 2080 Ti is your main.
Wait, what about the 980? Does he still have the 980? Whoop.
Sorry, am I meant to be doing SLI again? No, not SLI, just 2 independent cards.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure one of our friends has 2 identical cards and is just using one of them for physics engine.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name, but yes, he is.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes. Well, it was something I was looking at doing as well. I was looking at installing another card in mine to do... Yeah, they're not using SLI much anymore. Not many things use SLI or Crossfire.
SLI finally is in the grave, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, at the moment, graphics cards, like the top of the range 2080 Ti's, are still bottlenecked by CPUs, so...
Yeah, there's no point.
The 980 Ti is in a mate's PC now.
Okay. Could have used that
yeah, because I was looking at putting another card into my computer just to stream with. So I'd have OBS Studio and all that running off one card, whilst I game off the other.
Do you have enough PCI Express lanes for that, though?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
To run them both at 16?
Probably not at 16, but...
Because you lose some to M.2 drives as well, don't you? NVMe drives?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, I'd have to look into it more.
I have an issue here because...
for what his build is. For his mate's build, I guess.
I have a RAID controller here that I need to install in a computer so that I can access my data and use those drives. Actually, more just use those drives than access the data because I have the data elsewhere. But I can't find a computer that has enough PCI Express lanes to run it and a video card at the same time. Because it's a PCI Express 4 card. All the computers here only have PCI Express 8 card. All the computers here only have one PCI Express 16 slot that runs at 16, which if any of the other computers here have another PCI Express 16 slot, then it's only running at 4. I hope everyone followed that because I almost didn't.
I'm going to see if I can find out how many PCI slots I have, how many lanes I have.
I have a feeling it's 20. I cannot run this cable where I want it to go. There's just not enough space. Oh well, cable management will happen at another stage anyway. I might just do cable management overnight just to get this thing finished.
Yeah.
Although we do have another live stream shortly, so might not even have time to do that.
I don't even know where I can find how many PCI lanes I have.
Usually you check with your motherboard manufacturer.
Yeah, I'm on that site.
In the specifications tab.
I can't find a spec tab. It's hurting my head.
Should be right up the top.
I have, as long as that's the right one, Gaming Plus.
Oh, so it turns out you can't actually pull the front panel off this thing without pulling out the optical drive.
I have one PCI 3.0 times 16. I have one PCI 2.0 times 16. One PCI 2.0 times 1.
Okay.
So I have no idea if that gives you an answer or not.
Wait, run that past me again.
One PCI 3.0 times 16
Yep,
slot.
so that'll be your video card.
One PCI 2.0 times 16.
Okay.
And one PCI 2.0 times 1 slots.
Okay. You might be alright then.
Just send it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, expansion. So I've got 3 PCI slots.
Yeah.
One 3.0, one 2.0, one 2.0. So there's 2 16s and 1 1. I don't know what the 1 1 means.
No idea. Previous owner of this case has used like these rubber shock mount things for the fans.
Fancy.
Up here. There. These things. So yeah, but 3 out of 4 are broken off.
Not so fancy.
I'm guessing it was when he was trying to remove them. They are very hard to remove.
Oh no, you've gone over again, bro.
Oh no. Well, I'll just mount this fan and then we'll call it done for the day. Well, actually, we'll just call it done for the day anyway.
Call it done for the day for the next, 2 hours?
2.5, isn't it?
2.5, yeah.
Actually, by the time we start up, yeah, probably 2 hours. Yeah, all right. So I will finish that in my own time because, dang, and we'll just leave it at that. That's a right mess now. I've been watching
Nathan, microphone, please bring the microphone over.
Good point. I forgot that doesn't travel with me. Well, automatically. Excuse me. Anyway,
as we're
all right.
about to go, Rico says hi. We're literally just leaving, but hello.
Hi. All right, cool. So yeah, that's it from us for today. We hope that was interesting to somebody. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I get to finish that PC sometime soon, but I'm not holding my breath.
I can smell dinner, so I think it's nearly time for me to go.
Yeah, I got to go take care of that now too. But yeah, anyway, we will be back on here tomorrow at 5 p.m. for this.
As long as I don't die with my flu needle.
Oh, you're having that tomorrow? Oh, rough. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not excited.
Good luck with that. Good luck to the rest of you. And again, if you have any tech questions, then please get in touch with us and send those through. And we're going to be back to answering some of those tomorrow. Yeah, otherwise we'll be back from 5 p.m. Hope to see you then. Have a good night. And if you want, you can join us on 3P Garage for our Subaru car chat stream stuff.
Tonight.
That way. I don't know. I'll probably be streaming from here again.
I'll be here.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks.
See you guys.